Hello, this is Hard Chatter, and today there is a message that Salt of the group Salt-N-Pepa has brought out, okay? And it's political and it's about the future of this world. So let's hear it and we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Hey y'all, so the cat's out the bag. I've been studying this type of thing for years, but you can't really talk about it because people will think that you're crazy. So now we know Satanists and Luciferians run the world. 2 Corinthians, it describes that Satan is the god of this world. They own the government, politics, Democrats and Republicans, the court system, the education system, the banks, the Federal Reserve, real estate, farms, Hollywood, what we watch, music, what we listen to, media, what we believe, sports, big pharma, everything. We pay their taxes, we work their jobs, we buy their houses. We don't own anything really, because even if we pay for a house outright, if we miss paying taxes one time, they can take the home. We've been pitted against each other like crazy forever. Black versus white, rich versus poor, men versus women, Democrats versus Republicans, Muslims against Christians. We fight over narratives that they've created to keep us divided while they're doing whatever they want. Hunting, killing, sexually assaulting, sacrificing, torturing, cannibalizing, yes, cannibalizing, and organ harvesting our children. Grooming them and over-sexualizing them, teaching them inappropriate things in school. They start wars and they tell us it's this country or that country, or it's this religion who's our enemy. And our kids go to war to defend lies. They fund both sides of the war and make billions of dollars while our family members are sacrificed. We have been bamboozled beyond our wildest dreams. Everything we've been fed is a lie. So what do we do? If you're like me, like, okay, we got the information, but what do? We can't impeach the president because that's up to Congress. The only power we have is our dollars, our prayers, and our voices. Some people will laugh at that, but when it comes to their God, they're on their job. They pray to their God, they worship him, they murder, assault children, make blood sacrifices. They are very dedicated to making sure their God is pleased with them. We can stop feeding the beast with our dollars. When things are exposed, we can stop giving them our money. I'm not telling you who you should buy from or where to spend your money, but I do encourage you to investigate the companies you patronize. Find out who they are, what their practices are, what their beliefs are. I know we love certain brands, but do we know their history? Who owns your bank? Is there another place that you can put your money? Because if they decide, they can close the banks whenever they want, or they can freeze our accounts if we don't comply with their narrative. They're purposely poisoning our water, air, and food. So support your local farmers if you have access. I know everyone doesn't have access. I understand that. Buy fresh, real food. Buy land if you can. Grow food if that's in your heart. Even this information we've been exposed to, I think it's designed to see what we will do. This information can make us feel helpless and depressed and even more complacent, giving them even more control to usher in their new world order, their one world government, one currency, one world dictatorship where we have no rights at all. So we can refuse digital ID, we can support smaller venues, we can spread and share information. If we can homeschool our children. Support local farmers. It's healthier, it's cleaner. Get back to eating whole foods. If you can, try and go direct to consumer. And according to Revelation, yes, we are being led to a choice, right? It talks about the mark of the beast in Revelation 13:16 through 17. You can read it for yourself, but that's basically where this is all headed, and it's unfolding right in front of us. There'll be a time that we won't be able to buy or sell unless we take the mark. Can you imagine one world government, one religion, one currency, total dictatorship, total control? Let's do what we can. Spread information, and God bless you guys.
I mean, everything she's saying is absolutely true, okay? But people who have been showing you, like I've been preaching this for about 15 years. I've been studying the Epstein files for about 15 years, about 10 years, okay? None of this is new. Here's what I think. I think it's weird that people don't listen to what somebody's saying unless they're a celebrity, okay? And it also entails that the United States worships idols, okay? All of your entertainers are being worshipped, okay? Now, like I said, what she said was true. But are people going to follow it? I doubt it. I really doubt it, because people look for ignorance more than reality. Okay? You know, it's like they don't want to see what is real. They don't want to see that there were actually political figures in the Epstein case abusing and killing kids. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see that half of the music that you're listening to now is just trash. It's about sex, drugs, or money. And it's being pimped onto our children. Okay? So, like I said, I agree with everything that she's saying, but I think that it is sad that we live in a state of the world where you won't listen to what the truth is unless it's a celebrity. And that means that the United States has a problem with, like I said, worshiping false idols. And yes, the message is right, but she's one of those idols. And she's always been one. And here's the thing. Why are you just now coming out saying something? Hello? Why are you just now coming out to say something? Okay? Like I said, the message is right, but I have questions. I have doubts. I have lost faith in humanity at this point. Okay? So until the next time, this is Hard Chatter, and I thank you so much for listening.